Hey guys, this is my third video about the hCG diet. I'm still in phase 2. I've been doing it now for 21 days, I believe, and I'm due to go for another 9 days because I'm doing a 30-day very low calorie diet period. But I figured now that I've been doing it for a few weeks, I would go through some of the things that I think you need during the diet, and also things you can expect to happen, I guess, during the first two phases of the diet. So if that is of interest to you, you can keep watching. One of the most important things that you'll need for the hCG diet is some scales. Now, I know a lot of people don't encourage that you weigh yourself every day, and I certainly don't think in your regular everyday diet you should, but with the hCG diet it's very important to gauge what works for you and what doesn't. Obviously in the phase that I'm in, you're eating such a little amount. If you see that the scale's going up in any way, there's obviously something wrong. It could be that you're allergic to something that you're eating, or it could be that you're not drinking enough water, or it could be that you are indeed not having enough of the hCG supplement and you are actually starving yourself, at which point your body's going to retain everything that you put in it. So those are some of the most important reasons why you should be weighing yourself every day. And it is also good, my scale's got, it measures my body fat and it also measures my body water. So you can actually sort of look at that on days where you might, not lose very much weight, or you might not lose anything. You can still see if you're losing body fat, which is nice, or you can actually see if your body water might be at a high percentage, which could be the reason why you haven't lost any weight, and that could be due to a number of reasons. You could be on your period if you're a female, or you could perhaps have had something very salty the day before and it's made you retain more water than normal. Next thing that I suggest you have, and it's fairly important, is a food scale. Both of these I actually got at Target, and I think I actually got both of them together for around $50. Because the portions are so, they have to be so precise in phase 2, you really do need a scale, because you do need to weigh your proteins raw, and they need to be no more than 100 grams. So you don't have to be quite as strict, I guess, with the vegetables, because obviously they're so low calorie, but it is very important to weigh your protein, so a scale is a definite. During this diet, I think it's essential that you do include vitamins of some description, because you are taking in such a small amount of calories, so you're not getting as much nutritional value, I guess, out of your everyday meals. When I actually ordered from a website my hCG drops, they had an option where you could get a hCG pack. So it actually included some of the vitamins and whatnot that they suggested, I guess, were good to take during. I'll show you first the potassium, which is very important for your muscles and your blood, keeping them sort of properly mineralized or whatnot. Vitamin B12, if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, you might already take these, and I used to take them on a fairly regular basis, but that's also it's apparently crucial for neurological benefits and is essential for carbohydrate metabolism and may contribute to cardiovascular health. And I also got a dietary supplement just called hCG Support, which has got a bit of everything in it, really. It's got vitamin C, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, guarana, green tea extract, ginger root, probiotic blend, reishi mushroom, and a couple of other things that I can't pronounce. So it suggests that you take 1 or 2 of these twice a day with foods. A couple of things that I have added to my vitamin repertoire since for the last few days anyway, which I think are probably good to take in every day anyway. Magnesium forte. I actually had started getting some cramps in my feet, and I've always gotten them, but I've noticed that I was getting them a little bit more persistently, I guess, during this phase of the diet. So it helps with aches, cramps and spasms. So that's a good thing to take. And I've also added celery and juniper or juniper, I have no idea. This is a very good diuretic. So if perhaps you have had something a bit salty one day, it's good maybe to take a couple of these before you go to bed, and it should sort of, I guess, help flush out any excess salts or any extra water retention that your body's holding on to. And obviously, the main thing that you're going to need during the diet is the hCG supplement itself. If you Google hCG supplements, you'll probably, or not even supplements, just hCG diet, it'll bring up a lot of different places you can order from. I'll put a link to the place where I've ordered mine from. Within Australia, you can only get homeopathic versions of the supplement, I guess. You can either get it in drop form or pellet form, and from what I've heard on numerous forums, they both do as good a job as each other, so it's really up to you. You have to hold them under your tongue for a couple of minutes, and it's not the most pleasant thing. I mean, it's not horrible, but because it's an alcoholic substance, it sort of does have a burning sensation a little bit. So yeah, something that isn't a necessary, like something that you need to have for the diet, but something that I found useful is an app. I don't know if you can see there, but down the bottom I've got just an app called hCG. Oh, I just opened up something else, but if you Google, if you go into your app store or whatever, you can probably find a bunch of different hCG diet apps. It's just kind of good. It's sort of got a checklist on the front page. It lets you tick off when you've had your fruits and how much water you've had, when you've taken your doses, and you can, when you weigh yourself each day, it'll make a little graph out of it, so you can go back and see the progress that you've made, which is pretty neat. And I also just keep track of my weight somewhere else, just so I, it's just nice to, I guess, have a little bit of a record. I don't know. Another thing that I would suggest is good, it's not something that I did, but I should have done, is use a measuring tape. Take your measurements maybe once a week, because there will be times when you think, oh, I've only lost 2 pounds this week or a kilo this week, but you'll probably find that you are losing a lot more in terms of inches. So your body isn't necessarily going to dictate on the scale that you've lost weight, but the way your clothes are fitting, what your measurements are saying, will show otherwise. On the first couple of days of the very low calorie diet, I'm not going to lie, you're not going to feel great. I think it's more of a detox thing, but I had some horrible headaches on the first couple of days. I think it's just like someone going cold turkey off, everything that they put in their body that isn't good. So probably it's mainly sugars, because you're not having any processed sugars. Yeah, your body goes into just, your body freaks out basically. So you will have headaches, so be prepared to maybe have to take a couple of painkillers for those first few days, but trust me, it does get better. And those are definitely the hardest days, because your body is still craving those things, because it's still got them in its system. Once you've hit a few days, you should feel better. But if you're still feeling hungry after the first few days, you shouldn't be feeling hungry except at normal meal times. So if you are still feeling hungry, you should test out your dose. Maybe skip a dose at some point in one day and see how you feel the next day. It turns out that a lot of people actually need less of the hCG in their body than the bottle might tell them. So I've actually started forgetting to take one of my doses pretty much for the last 5 days, and I actually found that my hunger level has probably gotten better. So I'm not as hungry as I was. I think if I had too little of it in my system, I would be absolutely starving. So just play around with the with how much of the hCG you're taking. Don't change it around like every day. Do it one day, then wait the whole next day until you try it again if that's not successful, because it takes a while for your body to recognize that you've changed the dose. So, you know, if you change your dose and then 4 hours later you think, oh, I feel exactly the same, it will not have done anything to your body as yet. You haven't given it enough time. So patience is the key if you're having problems with your dosage. Something that I guess is a little bit, you know, people don't talk about, but I think it's helpful to know before you start the hCG diet so you can be prepared, is that you may have problems with bowel movements. Basically, you're not getting basically any fiber during this diet, so it's almost a given that you are going to get somewhat constipated. So something that I've started to take is the psyllium husk fiber capsules. So I mean, you could take some sort of, there's a whole lot of different kinds of things that are meant to keep you regular. So I think it'd be really good just to start this pretty much as soon as you start the hCG diet, because I can almost guarantee you that it's going to happen. And then that's just going to contribute to slower weight loss, because you'll be like, well, you're not having any output. Then obviously that's going to be one reason why you are not losing weight as quickly as you might like to. Speaking of losing weight, one thing that is, it's not a horrible thing to wake up to, but it's not the best thing you want to wake up to. You know, when you're working so hard on this diet, some days you may wake up, stand on the scale, and it will say the exact same thing that it said the day before. Then you might think, oh, you know, tomorrow it'll be okay, and then you'll stand on the scale the next day and it will still say that number. And this could work, this could go on for a number of days. You may hit stalls, and the thing is, you can't let yourself get down because of them, because they are completely normal. In the 21 days that I've been doing this so far, I think I've hit 9 stalls in that I've had the same weight more than one day in a row. So almost half the amount of time I've been doing this is I've been on a stall. And the thing is, it's just your body trying to catch up with you, I think. I don't think there's anything necessarily that you've done wrong. It may not be something you've eaten. It could perhaps be something to do with water retention, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. I think your body is just taking a breath, basically. And these are the days where taking measurements of your body is going to maybe be good, because you can see that you are losing inches. You're not necessarily losing on the scale. So I guess all I'm trying to say is, don't lose hope on stall days. They happen and they're completely normal. So yeah, even now, even though I know they're normal, like I had a stall this morning, I was the same weight as I was yesterday. You've got to sort of think to yourself, well, you know, your body might be working up to a really nice loss in a couple of days. So you think about it that way. Those are all the things that I can think of that I guess are the most important for the phase 2 of the diet, where I am at the moment. I'll keep you updated. I don't know if I said, but now I've lost 12.6 pounds, so that's exciting, getting close to a stone. And my clothes are definitely looser. Some jeans that normally sort of constrict and feel like I'm never going to actually be able to reproduce now because my ovaries are squished. They no longer feel like that, so that's always a plus. And yeah, I feel fine in terms of, you know, energy, whatnot. There are mornings where I will wake up and I'll be, you know, it'll be hard to do things, but that's because your body doesn't have as much in it as it normally does. So you get used to it. And yeah, as I said, I'll keep you all up to date. If you have any particular questions, you can ask them below, but there's a wealth of information on the internet. So for anyone that's embarking or is currently doing the hCG diet, good luck. I hope it's going well, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.